When I first played Death Stranding 2, I thought I knew exactly what to expect. I knew it'd be beautiful, expansive, and probably pretty cumbersome. Hell, I even knew that Higgs had an electric guitar. No, a real electric guitar. But then something small, subtle, and completely transformative hit me. It wasn't the truck, it wasn't the combat, it wasn't even the graphics. It was something tucked away that I knew people would treat as an afterthought, but the more I played, the more I realised it changed everything. Every mundane moment became electrifying, unique, and memorable. And the craziest part? This little feature isn't just in Death Stranding 2. It's in GTA, it's in Fallout, it's in The Outer Worlds, it's in nearly every game you love. Something you hardly ever notice, but it's shaping how we play. It's the music player. Yes, that little in-game radio, playlist or soundtrack that you might have ignored is one of the most powerful tools in game design. Hey everyone, it's the Capes Clinician, and today we're going to talk about how this all began, why it works, and what the future holds for this magnificent feature. The story begins in the mid-1980s with a game that most modern players probably wouldn't associate with narrative or immersion, Outrun. Released in 1986, it was a simple arcade racing game, but what set it apart from every other racing game of the era wasn't just the smooth controls or the branching paths, it was the music. Players could select from a handful of tracks before each race, and each song subtly changed the feel of the game. Yu Suzuki, the creator of Outrun, explained it perfectly. I wanted players to feel like they were on a journey, not just playing a game. That simple idea, to let players choose the music accompanying their actions, was the first step towards making games emotionally alive in a way that went beyond graphics or story. Fast forward a decade and we find ourselves in Liberty City in the original GTA in 1997. Cars, missions and crime weren't the only innovations in the first GTA. Rockstar added selectable radio tracks and vehicles, creating a living, breathing city. The simple act of driving through the streets while listening to music made players feel connected to the world. One reviewer at the time noted, "Choosing your own soundtrack in a racing or driving game may sound trivial, but suddenly the game felt alive. Personal, like it belonged to you." It was a small idea, but it planted a seed that would grow into something monumental in the early 2000s. Then came GTA 3 in 2001, a game that completely revolutionized open-world game design. Liberty City wasn't just a map, it was alive, and the radio stations gave it a heartbeat. Each station had its own genre, its own DJ, its own commercials. Rockstar's goal was simple: make the city feel real. Ivan Pavlovich, music supervisor for GTA 5, summed it up. "The first time you get off an airplane in LA and you hear the radio, we wanted that. It really connects you to the world." And fans agreed. Driving through the streets of Vice City or San Andreas while listening to the stations created memories that players still talk about today. One Reddit user put it perfectly: rocking out to KDST in Bone County, flying planes, cars in Los Santos. That radio made the city feel alive. Rockstar wasn't just creating background noise, they were designing characters in their world. Each station had a personality, a tone, even unique humor. Micro examples reinforced the environment. Listening to the country station K Rose during missions in the countryside of San Andreas wasn't just auditory, it made the entire setting feel cohesive and alive. Meanwhile, a completely different kind of immersion was taking place in the post-apocalypse of Fallout 3. Here, music wasn't just decorative, it created emotional contrast. The cheerful 1940s and 50s tracks on the Pip-Boy radio played over crumbling cities and irradiated wastelands, producing an uncanny juxtaposition that made exploration feel both nostalgic and haunting.
So wish on the moon, and someday...
Composer Inon Zur explained, "You can play 170 hours of Fallout 3 and the music is never intrusive. It helps create dramatic tension and works in tandem with gameplay, but never overpowers it." In Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, radios even responded to factions and player choices, adding additional layers of narrative depth. Fans noticed this too. One player wrote, "People associate memories and events of the game with the soundtrack. Driving through towns, particular songs, it's unforgettable." The contrast between cheerful music and bleak environments didn't just set a mood, it anchored memory, creating experiences that stick long after the game is turned off. Listening to "I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire" while wandering irradiated Boston isn't just nostalgia, it's storytelling. By now, it's clear that diegetic music, that's music that exists within the world of the game, is doing something really special. It evokes emotion, it creates memory, and it makes a game something completely unique. It gives players agency over their experience. It's a quiet co-director, guiding attention, shaping mood, and giving meaning to even the most mundane of gameplay moments. Laszlo Jones, the voice behind many GTA radio stations, explained, "Once Rockstar said they wanted to make radio inside video games, we started riffing on ideas, commercials, stations, DJ banter. It added a life of its own, and fans agree." One wrote, "Music in GTA made me care about the city in a way graphics never could."
Me and met that, ain't I, cowboy? I still love her.
This simple tool, something most players don't actively think about, is secretly one of the most powerful levers of game design. In modern games, the concept has evolved dramatically. In GTA 5, multiple stations per city, celebrity hosts, and dynamic tracks make the radio feel reactive and alive. Death Stranding 2 takes it even further. Procedural music reacts to your movement, your environment, and even the way you interact with the world. Hideo Kojima himself said, "Music is part of the journey. It becomes a companion that changes with every step." The effect on players is profound. Music provides mood, memory, and identity. It's why driving across San Andreas or Liberty City feels cinematic. It's why exploring the wasteland in Fallout feels emotionally heavy and resonant. It's why Death Stranding 2 deliveries can feel almost cinematic. Fans describe it perfectly. Something where you can just lose yourself. You're exploring a universe while blasting radio music. In many ways, the music becomes a co-player, reacting to your choices, heightening tension, or amplifying joy, without ever touching gameplay mechanics directly. Even in my own experience, if I go back to replay a game, and I try and play without the music, or I try and swap in a playlist of my own, the entire experience feels completely flat. Music isn't just an add-on, or an accessory, it's the invisible director of the game. It doesn't just guide how you feel, it completely shapes how you play. Looking forward, music in games is becoming more dynamic, personal, and responsive. In Death Stranding 2, music already reacts procedurally to player movement and environmental context. In GTA 6, stations may leverage AI to react to player choices. The Outer Worlds 2 promises faction-specific radios that also change with your choices, giving the world a living narrative voice. Developers are beginning to recognize that music isn't just decoration, it's an essential part of the game's heartbeat. As one developer put it, music is the unseen storyteller. When done right, players feel it even when they aren't thinking about it. The future is clear. In-game music will continue to evolve, shaping not just the world you explore, but the way you feel, remember, and connect with it. Which in-game soundtrack changed your experience the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and for more behind-the-scenes content, check out my Patreon. And that's it. Next time you hit play, notice the music. It's everywhere, and it might just make every game better.